Hi, I'm Dawn Yamin. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to go through the process of buying a home. The first thing you're going to do, as I mentioned in a previous video, is you need to decide if you're going to pay cash or if you're going to get a loan. If you're going to pay cash, then we'll skip down to go ahead and call a realtor. If you need to get a loan, you're going to need to go talk to a lender to find out how much of a loan you're going to qualify for. Once you have that information, then you can call a realtor. Now you've called a realtor. You're out looking at houses. Now you find a house that you like. You want to put an offer on it. You have the realtor write up the offer and you submit the offer. Now what happens? Well, now the listing agent is going to present it to the seller. The seller is going to decide if they like your offer or if there's some things that they want to change in your offer. So you're going to go through that cycle of them countering your offer. You might want to counter their offer, and you go through that until either you have an accepted agreement or you have a rejected agreement, and then you have to start all over again and go back to call your realtor, start looking at houses. Okay, so now let's assume that you've gone ahead and you've made a couple of counters, you've got an accepted offer. Congratulations, you are now what they call in escrow. That means you have an accepted contract and that your escrow has now started, it's opened. You are now in the process of buying a home. Now you need to be aware of all your contingency release dates. Because if you don't know these dates and these dates pass without you doing anything about them, you have agreed. You've agreed that your contingency on the loan can be released. You've agreed that your contingency on the appraisal can be released. You agree that if you are in a common interest community, a CIC, that you agree with everything that's in their CIC documents. And you may not. You may have some reservations about some things. So you want to be sure that you're aware of all these dates for these contingencies. So you need to find out, okay, you have a loan. What is your loan contingency release date? You need to be working with your lender to make sure that you're comfortable that when that date rolls around, you are going to get that loan, that there's nothing holding you back. Usually an appraisal is tied to that loan contingency. You want to be sure that the home that you're looking to buy appraises appropriately. Because if it doesn't, that may mean that you have to kick in more money, or you have to go back to the seller and say, hey, it didn't appraise, can you reduce your price? So that way there's no more money coming out of your pocket. So then you also have the common interest community documents that you need to be reviewing. You need to agree that those are something that you can live with. I once was looking at property that was a 5-acre parcel. The CIC documents said I had to landscape all 5 acres. So my husband and I had to have a really good discussion about that to decide if that was something we were willing to do. So you need to be sure that you understand what's in your common interest community documents and will you agree to those. So you may also have just an appraisal contingency even though you don't have a loan, because again, you want to be sure that you're purchasing this home and that you're not overpaying for it. So you want to be sure that the appraisal comes in kind of close to what you're offering for the home. So even though you don't have a loan, you still may want to do an appraisal, and that's perfectly okay. Cash offers do appraisals all the time. You want to be sure that you're not overpaying for the property. All right, so the other 2 contingencies that are usually in the contract is you're going to get a title report. The title report is going to tell you if there's any encumbrances on the property. I had one property where the seller still had IRS tax liens against the property. Those had to be cleared before she could sell the property. So if she didn't get those cleared, we weren't going to close on time. So that was something that we needed to be aware of, and we need to be working with her and with title to make sure that those got cleared. You also need to know if there's any easements on the property. Sometimes the electric company has easements on the property. You just need to be aware. So those are all in your title reports. And then of course there's your inspection release contingency date. You need to be sure that you have your inspections all done, your home, your pest, appliance. If you want the AC and the heating inspected, you need to get those all done. If you want any repair work done from the seller, you need to have negotiated all of that so that way you are comfortable now taking possession of this home. Once you have all your contingencies signed off, about 5 to 7 days prior to your close of escrow date, you are going to go in and you're going to sign your paperwork. The seller is going to do the same. At that time, you will be getting a spreadsheet which is going to show you a breakdown of all the costs. It's going to give you a final number of what you are going to owe in order to close this transaction. That final number, you're going to need to write a check either that day that you sign or before the close of escrow date, and you're going to make it out to the title company because the title company is the one that distributes all the proceeds from the sale. They're going to distribute it to the seller as well as any fees to your lender and then to, of course, themselves. So now on the day of escrow, what's going to happen is your lender is going to fund the loan. So escrow title is going to get the money from your lender. You, as the buyer, will have written your portion of what you owe the seller. The transaction is going to get recorded at the county, and you are going to get the keys to your new home. And congratulations, you are now a new homeowner. This is the process for buying a home. There is more detail as far as writing the contract. I'm going to go over that in a future video. And there is more detail as far as the inspections go. And I will go over that in a future video. Thank you so much for watching my video. Bye for now.